Hello, today we're going to be doing comparisons of simple numbers just to lay a foundation for understanding comparison symbols and their meanings. So this is just to say when you're given two numbers, which one is greater than the other, which one is bigger than the other. At the same time, we want you to be able to write that down in mathematical terms just to show that you have an understanding of what you're saying. So for example, when you're given 5 and 10 in this example number 1, is 5 smaller than 10, or is 5 greater than 10? Is 5 bigger than 10, or is 5 less than 10? So we're going to see, first of all, before we go any further, greater than also means bigger than, less than also means smaller than, equal is equal to or equals either. Yeah. So we're trying to match these symbols, the greater than symbol, the less than symbol, the equal symbol, to the meaning that we know, and like trying to answer the question that we have read here. So we know that 5 is smaller than 10. We know that 5 is less than 10 because smaller than is the same as less than. So for that reason, we look for the smaller than symbol. In the smaller than symbol in this case is this symbol. This will always be the smaller than symbol. Some students will confuse this with the greater than symbol because they look alike, they're just reversed, and they also sound alike. But in this case, 5 is smaller than 10. So now you're wondering, how did I know that this is the smaller than symbol and why isn't it this? Well, there's a simple illustration or a simple example that will help you to remember this at all times. You simply ask yourself, which way would the crocodile face? So imagine this to be a crocodile mouth with its teeth here. The crocodile will always eat what is bigger. It will always open its mouth towards the bigger item or the bigger number. So in this case, the crocodile was given 5 and was given 10, and it chose, no, I want to eat 10, which is the bigger number. It will never open its mouth towards the smaller number. So this is why we have this symbol. So even when you don't understand whether this symbol is the less than or the greater than, you at least know how to draw it. So again, let's go to the next example. You've got 17 and 12. We have 17 and 12. Well, you know that 17 is bigger than 12. So you're going to face the crocodile's mouth towards what? Towards 17. And then you're going to put the crocodile teeth. Well, you don't have to put the crocodile teeth, but this is basically just when you're given 17 and 12, the crocodile will open its mouth towards the bigger number, which is 17. So even when you don't know whether this symbol is the less than or the greater than symbol, at least you know how to draw it. Now let's go 20, 20. Well, 20 and 20 are simply the same size. It's the same number. So we're going to have equal. So 20 is equal to 20. Or 20 equals 20. That is that. Now we have another question here. Say 101 compared to 1. Where would you put your symbol? So again, we say the crocodile opens its mouth towards the bigger number. So the crocodile is going to open its mouth towards what? Towards 101. Because 101 is the bigger number compared to 1. If you want to put the teeth, you don't have to put the teeth again. I'm just illustrating how the crocodile will always open its mouth towards the bigger number. So your answer here is simply 101 is greater than 1. And now we've got 23 and 32. Is 23 greater than or less than 32? Well, even if you don't know the wording, what you know is just say when I'm given 23 and I'm given 32, 32 is the bigger number, so we'll open the mouth towards the bigger number. So this is simply to say when you're given these symbols, you don't need to understand which one is the less than or which one's the greater than. All you need to understand is which one is bigger than, so you actually get to open the crocodile's mouth towards that number, and then you put the smaller number at the back of the crocodile's mouth. But now it's actually important for us to know the wording. So we'll go through the wording on its own. So in this case, with our example number 1, let's say 3, 4. In this case, with our example number 1, you have to say this in your own mind. You have to repeat this in your own mind to say, is 5 bigger than or smaller than 10? So if 5 is smaller than 10, that means that 5 is less than 10. 5 is smaller than 10. You can write either way. So I'll just say here, smaller than. Is 17 bigger or smaller than 12? 17 is bigger. So now we'll just write bigger. Is 20 bigger or less than 20? Well, 20 is actually equal. So it's just 20 equals 20. Is 101 smaller or bigger than 1? It is bigger. So 101 is bigger. Is 23 bigger or smaller than 32? 23 is smaller. So I hope you're noticing the pattern here. It's simply what is this first number compared to the second number, because this is where most confusion comes up, to say students don't know whether it's smaller than or greater than, which number starts with what. It's simply, as you are reading this, going that way, what is this number compared to that other number? So 5 is smaller than, that's why we have smaller. 17 is greater than 12. This is why we've got bigger. So it's the first number compared to the second number. So when you've got smaller, you also have less than. When you've got bigger, you also have greater than. This is just, these words are used interchangeably. When you've got equal, you also have equals or equal to. Just on this equal part, I like to highlight that when you are speaking in English, we say it's 20 equals 20, or 20 is equal to 20. So you won't say 20 is equals to 20. It's 20 equals 20, or 20 is equal to 20. That is just a side note of how you actually say how any number is equal to the other, or any number is equals the other. Now moving on, I'll also just explain why I used different symbols to explain this concept. So here you see how we're comparing 5 to 10, but we've got the question mark. Here 17 to 12, we've got the question marks, 20 to 20, question mark. That is to say, in some examples, you see the textbook using the question mark, or you see the examiner using the question mark. In other examples, you see the question or the textbook just using a blank space, or maybe a box to say, is 101 bigger or less than 1? In other examples, you see an asterisk, or we'll just say a star. And so you have to replace the symbol here, the asterisk, with the actual symbol. So this is, again, I'll just go over this one more time to say this is the greater than symbol, because the first number, I'll just say the first number, let's say A, is greater than. That's why the crocodile opened its mouth towards it. And then for this one, we've got the smaller than, we've got the less than symbol. This is just to say A is less than, because the crocodile is not facing A, B. And now we've got the equal to symbol. So this is just to say A is equal to A. Yeah, this is basically it. So I hope now you understand how to write the symbol by just thinking of a crocodile opening its mouth towards a bigger number. And also I hope by now you know how to read the symbols in English by comparing the first number to the second number. And I just hope also that you just understood the concept fully, and you are able to move on to the next stage, whereby we'll be comparing more complicated numbers like fractions or decimal numbers, or even equations themselves. That will be for a different chapter. However, for now, you've got just the examples or the foundation that you need to go on to the next phase. On that note, I'll just give you some homework. So I'll just write down random numbers right now, just to say 1 compared to 2. This is compare the numbers below. 20 compared to 30. 101 compared to 1000. Oh, 100. Oh, I'll just say 1000. Or say 55 compared to 55, and then say 27 compared to 72. That is your homework, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.